just on 2 points settled down, and then it's hanged down by these steel constructions. Oh yeah, this is from part 2. This is the entrance hall, the interior. So inside the building you have these very bright regions where people meet and talk together, and there are some on each. So it moves. It's getting deeper and smoother, and it's a very strong character of this room. And here in this hall there are different, what is it called, Sonderraumzone, where they do, for example, motor construction and so on. And this is what I talked about before. This is the street where we dig down the whole area, and so this is the connection to the university. Very simple system. Here polycarbonate facades on these halls, and here every office room has the same amount of glass, but in different height. And this is another small project, which is called Villa P for Primitzhofer. We didn't know how to build it with our people, so we just did the P. This was finished a year ago, I think. It's quite close to the neighbor over here, and so he can't look in. We did this fish-like lamelles here. Okay, and this is another project in Linz for the government, where they repair all the cars and trolleys they have. It was a competition as well. We never thought to win this with these materials. It's all plastic. It's a steel construction, of course, but it's covered with different plastic materials. So this is under construction. And this is covered now with some rubber-like materials you normally just use up on the roofs. We covered all the building with this. These are polycarbonate facades and doors. And okay, some interior photos. The office part from outside. Okay. And here we wanted to have a quite bright court, but we didn't want to take glass construction because it's quite heavy, and if something here starts to burn, the glass construction comes down. So we decided to do it with ETF Ipnus, which are quite huge, 6 by 20 meters, which are covering the court in this area. Okay, and then the second part of the lecture is about heiße Luft. We do some hot air projects. Hot air in German means nothing. So it's not too serious projects. And we had the chance about 8 years ago now to do an installation in the Museum of Angewandte Kunst in Vienna. And we wanted to fill up a room with some materials, and we tried to find something really light, and we were experimenting with some bags or something like this, but of course it was the most easy thing to do it with balloons. And so all our friends were invited to blow up about 50,000 balloons, which have been packed in 3 slices in this old hall. And then in the evening, when the installation was opened, it was like this, so it was very static. But beyond this, there are air machines which then started to move these bubbles, these fish eye-like bubbles. And oh yeah, here is in our office. Günther is trying to jump into. He said it would be fine to jump into this from the next floor, but of course he landed directly down and hit down like. Okay, here now the slices are nearly filled. Here you can see the static. And then we turned on these air machines, and this started to boil in here. And then we turned it more, and it was like gas. And then everything was flying in here, and all the people were running around. And what we never thought of was how to get rid of these 50,000 balloons, but they did it in about 30 minutes. Okay. And there's another bubble project. It was in the Lentus in Linz, which is a museum for modern art, actually, and they planned. They showed the museums of the 21st century, which was an exhibition which came from Stuttgart, I think, and it was shown there, and it was very, very boring for, especially for not architects, because you know it from any competition. There are plans and there's some models, and they said, please do something with this exhibition. It's so boring, and so we decided to do something with 2 materials. Eternit sponsored the exhibition, and so we took their elements and hanged them down very close to the floor. And this is these plates were carrying the information or the plans, and were slightly moving in this room. And the models we packed in bubbles to leave them fresh, as we said. And so these 21 projects for new museums have been presented like you see it 2 years ago, I think. Yeah. And as I said before, we like to recycle some ideas, and we have been invited to a competition in Berlin, directly on the Spree in Friedrichshain, and they had this rigorous town planning, as they really like it in Berlin. So they're just, this is an old storage house, and they plan to put cubes like this everywhere. And but they invited us to do this one here. It's a house for fashion labels, and of course Berlin is famous for its brick building and stone building, and so we asked them why they wanted to have us for architects, because we just do it with plastic and so on, and said, oh, okay, yeah, that's the reason why we take you. And so we planned